far end there, Tyson Emhoff comes up with a check fall. He wins 16-1. And in the middle, Matt, there right now it's been all Moan, even though the score is 2-0. He's just continually pounding on him. And now we're going to have on the mat number 3 down here, I think this is the other Hinderman, the older one, which is hard to say, because he's only, oh no, this is Bussey. I'll take that back.
Oh, this is? Okay.
Yeah, this is Jackson Bussey. He's the fine sophomore with a 27-3 record. He's taking on Ethan Bodendine from Richland Center, and he's showing him a few lights.
Well, I tell you what, speaking of lights, there's a pin with 28 seconds, a minute 28 in period number 1 on mat number 2. Moan, he was, he was just solid.
Yeah, and here Bussey gets first period fall too. This is the area where Iowa Grant scores, like we said, starting at 26. It's tough to beat them all the way up to this 60-pound weight class.
Yeah, yeah.
Because here's probably the other Hinderman coming out here on mat number 2. Down there we have he's a really good wrestler too. This is Joe Wetter down there on mat number 1.
Oh, yes.
And he's caught in a weight class where he's already ranked in the top 12 in the state, but he's got all these studs in front of him.
Oh, my. Yeah, yeah. Job is, I like watching Job. He's a tough wrestler.
Yep. All right, down here on mat number 3, we have Logan Wolf. He's taking on Maddox Goebel, the other Goebel. This would be the junior with a 16-3 record. See, some of these, like we talked about earlier, these Darlington Blackhawk wrestlers, similar to the Aquinas wrestlers, because they go so long in the playoffs, and I believe all of them in the state finals.
Yeah.
You know, it's just tough for, well, first of all, you get some injuries, so you can't wrestle right away.
Yeah, yeah.
But and this Goebel is definitely another one that you can tell he's one of their good football players.
Yeah. And you need a little rest. You need your body to heal.
And this is Gavin Hinderman out there on mat number 2. He's a junior, and with a 23-8 record, you can't say that he's a slouch in this lineup either. He's taking on Blake Brickle, the sophomore from River Valley with an 18-16 record. So this should be a pretty good match. Some sort of delay down there on mat number 1 is probably just somebody showing up. But now they're going to get to wrestling, and I'm pretty sure that's Job is going to be taking on the wrestler from Prairie du Chien. That should be a good match down there.
Okay.
Shot right off the whistle.
Yeah, it just popped up there now. That's Brady Lenzendorf.
That's Lenzendorf
Yeah.
down there. Okay, yeah, there we go. My computer's a little bit slower than the other one. But Wetter now a sophomore with a 25-2 record, and Lenzendorf is, I believe, the coach who sat in the meeting very calmly. He goes, "Well, my kid was a state qualifier last year," and that's Lenzendorf with 30-11 record.
Wow.
Know. That should be a barn burner down there. 2 young men that won't back down.
No kidding.
Maddox Goebel down here, he's up 4-1 with another takedown with the first period winding down. Blood time in the middle, Matt, there with Hinderman out in front 2-0 against Brickle.
Thanks going out to Vernon Electric, Richland Electric, and Scenic River Electric. Of course, they're out of the Lancaster area. Richland Electric out of Richland Center, and Vernon Electric out of Westby. Vestbach Oil and Propane, thanks to the Vestbach family. As, the 2 boys, Ryan and Eric, now full-fledged, I think, working there. So that's good to see them as they go along. Thanks also going out to the VFW of Viroqua. Thanks to Kevin Sherry and his great team as we continue on with today's tournament. And the Viroqua Dental Center, thanks to Dr. Leanne Klum and that wonderful team for your next beautiful smile. More sponsors coming up here in just a few moments as we continue on here with this Clash Wrestling Tournament, the SWC SWAL Conference Wrestling Meet here at Mineral Point. And we look forward to next year already as the Prairie du Chien Blackhawks will be the host of the tournament, so we'll look forward to that coming up here back in, 365 days to go. Unless, are we leap year this year?
This year's a leap year.
We are
yep.
a leap year,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. Be the second time they've hosted, and they've also hosted some regionals and stuff. So it'll be a good time. There's Doc Rogie down there and his crew put on a pretty good show.
Yeah.
I was impressed the last time we were down there for conference. They had blizzards. Those sold like crap.
Oh my goodness, I do remember that.
They sold the heck out of those things.
That was a smart move on their part.
Yes, it was.
They
4-1 down there now in that match against Wetter and Lenzendorf. Lenzendorf out in front right now. So, actually it's 4-0, I guess. Lenzendorf is definitely a quality wrestler for the Prairie du Chien squad. Job is still, he gives Lance and his crew down there, a bona fide wrestler. They got another wrestler, I believe, at 120 that's ranked in the state, which is good to see that Boscoville is getting back on the map and people are recognizing him again to have some good wrestlers down there.
Yeah.
Hinderman still with a 2-1 lead there in the middle, Matt. There's in the second period with 1:06 to go. And down here on mat number 3, Logan Wolf is trailing to Maddox Goebel 10-4 in that match as we start the third period. Goebel does a nice Granby roll and gets out. In the middle, Matt, Brickle does a nice move to get out. 4-2 in that match. So a takedown here in that center mat could be a big score here, but it is only in the second period too.
Out on that mat 1, Lenzendorf now extends the lead to 7-0 over Joe Wetter.
Matt, he's definitely dominating, I would say, right now. It's not dominating a score, but it's a controlled score. Well, now he's got a cradle in, but Wetter did a nice job of rolling through that. Now switching off to a half. Wetter does another nice job with a try for a roll, but this time Lenzendorf, well, I guess he did catch him to get 2 out of that. That could have went either way. He did give up 2. 6-3 in the center, Matt. Is Hinderman doing a nice job there. River Valley, Iowa Grant gets like 7-8 wrestlers in the semifinals. That'll be a challenge for Fenimore to stay with it.
Yes.
I think Fenimore's got enough with balance in some of the other weight classes, but they really need some help from some of the other guys.
Oh, right. That's right.
Really looking forward to should be in the finals, but that match at 132 again between Hunter Stevens and Roan Carey.
Oh, my goodness.
That should be a barn burner again.
Yeah.
They wrestled in the semifinals up at the Bi-State. That was interesting.
I didn't make it in there for until the finals of the Bi-State, so I didn't see it. How did that go?
It was a good tournament. It always is. And, And Jason Loloff is, he learned a lot from his mentor, Dave Rudrud. I think you can kind of say he's truly making this tournament his tournament. But Dave Rudrud is still the patriarch that's still around there and makes things go. See, the younger Goebel won his bout 15-5.
Wow, nice job there. He picks up some extra team points.
Lansdorf down there now with less than a minute to go is up in his bout by a 9-0, 12-0. My computers.
They keep, I know this one is behind a little bit. It hasn't refreshed. But
now it's 14-0.
Wow.
Lenzendorf is having his way down there. I believe there's still there's a 1:08 left in there.
Yeah, trying to get a tech fall.
I don't think my computer refreshed. I'm sure they're in the third period.
They are in the third, 1:15 to go. So there's time for that tech fall to take place if they
The
get
older
another
Hinderman
turn.
and trying to hang on here with a 10-4 victory. He just doesn't want to get called and sucked under, and he does. 10-4, he wins there. Nice match for Iowa Grant Rustlers there.
Yeah.
Because once you go past 175 here, 215 is about the only other weight class that I would say that Iowa Grant is really considered favored in.
Uh-huh.
Or has a quality wrestler. Not that their heavyweight isn't bad, but he's still hovering around 50%.
Uh-huh.
16-1 down there. I would have never counted on that Lenzendorf would tech fall Joe Boetter, but he did.
Well, that is interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that either. You're right. Yep.
But on mat number 2 now. This is another fine wrestler, or probably football player for Iowa Grant. Ty Christ from Darlington Blackhawk. He takes on Nolan Honky from Lancaster. Or Hanky. So you have the Hans, and then you have the Hankies, or Hankies, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, a couple more of our sponsors. Another set of 4, the Viroqua Village Market right on downtown Main Street there in Viroqua. Stop in there. And out in Cashion is Ray's Gas and Goodies. Ray will come out and fill up your tank for you. You don't even have to get out of your vehicle. The Viroqua Wrestling Club, thanks to the co-head coaches, Jared Getter and, of course, Rob Zuby, helping us out with that young crew. The Westby Truck and Equipment, thanks again to Aaron and Nikki Wong and Wong Farms, LLC. Do a lot of great stuff for the community, and of course in that farming community they can help you out with some custom work. And the Westby Wrestling Club, thanks going out to Drew Hendrickson, Rob Kerner, and that great bunch. Siri Caro, one of the officers, appreciate their wonderful support, and we wish them the best of luck throughout the state tournament trail. Another set of sponsors coming up here in just a couple of moments to finish things out here during this quarterfinal action. We'll move into the semis. It sounds like rather quickly, maybe right away, they'll have to do a consolation round.
Yep.
So
I can believe, like you're saying, they're going to jump right into that stuff.
Yeah.
Name down here very familiar on mat number 3. It's, another generation coming through of a Denar. This is Cale Denar, it'd be Craig's son, the coach. Oh, mat number 2, kind of a change event there.
Oh boy.
That's Nolan Honky. He got a reversal and a takedown and 3 near fall. So now he leads in that match 6-2. That was a big turnaround of action there.
That was a big move, you bet.
Cale Denar winning his match over Caden Davis from Belmont Platteville. 2-0 as they get back to actions. We had quite a bit of blood time in this match in the first period. Must be running, like you said, we were kind of concerned about that. Must be running into some resting time down there at mat number 1, because they not real anxious to get that match started between Riverdale and Prairie du Chien. Good job here by Denar to get what we used to call in the old days cheap tilt.
Yep.
Now he's going to run it, that arm bar. Off of that Cuba City, it got to be known. It's basically a bar arm with the wrist, but.
Well, and the reason they do that, because back in the day when I was coaching down that way, it's like we just point blank called it the Cuba City because they were doing it all the time.
Yep, there you go.
They were known for that. Yep. They still are, apparently.
Chris got an escape there and got a little closer in this match, 6-3. Wasn't really in favor of his choice for a takedown on there on the out of bounds line. I think he's more lucky that they ended up out of bounds because he was trying to do a backwards lateral and he fell right on his rump. Well, now it's going to be interesting. Yes, nice move there by Honky as he countered that throw of Christ, and he's got him in a lot of trouble and could get the fall here. But he's going to have the takedown to widen his lead. If he gets the fall here, there it is. Nice move by Nolan Honke as he moves on to the semifinals. That one I would think they were close records, but I would think that Chris was a little bit higher seeded than him, and that would be a slight upset there in that weight class.
Yeah, that does seem like it. You're right.
We'll get a program here sometime today. We have Mason Jelinek coming out here now on mat number 2. He takes on Nathan Blaschke from Fenimore. This is kind of where Fenimore's got some of their more high-quality wrestlers here. So this could be a good match for Mason.
Well, I messed some things up here right now. Trying to be good about things.
Uh-oh.
Might have to get Matt to come up here.
Well, I think you'll notice that he'll see what's on the big board.
Yeah. I don't have, I might have to go get them because, well, the one was like froze and I thought, well, maybe we could get it back up, but it's not doing it.
Jelinek here, they got something up. Now you just need to go back to the hub or something.
Let's see here. If we go, should be able to join, wouldn't you think?
Well, it looks like you're in the clash.
Do I do browse?
No, I wouldn't do that.
I don't think I want to either.
Well, I think you need to.
Where should I go? Do I go back?
Well, you need to be in this stuff down here. What's operating do for you?
Dashboard. There we go. And we'll continue. There we go. Thank you.
Well, now you don't have as many of them up there, but we'll see what it is.
Oh, there we go. Now we got him.
There we got him.
Yep.
Nice job.
There,
it's a great recovery by Ken.
Boy, I tell you, talk about a fumble.
They never noticed.
Must have it. And it still got on Matt up on the screen. It still says Lenzendorf 7-0 over Wetter. So it's just not refreshing for some reason.
Oh, okay. Well, see, they haven't gone to a new match down there either.
Oh, they haven't.
No, that's the one they've been holding off on.
Well, that explains it.
Yep.
I guess if I would just listen to you, I'd be all right.
I see where we have technical difficulties down there. We have the chief honcho down there working on the computer.
Oh, yes.
On mat number 1.
Yep, I see
What was her name again?
Gosh, I don't know. I didn't get in there in time to.
She did a real fine job in the seating meeting.
Uh-huh.
Helping Curtis. Curtis needs all the help he can get. He's a great coach for
yep.
A great athlete for Merrill Point High School.
So we only have 2 matches going on here right now, and we can keep track of that.
Pretty good match here on mat number 3. It's 8-1 now in favor of Dinar, but at least Davis got on the scoreboard here. And then on our center mat, it's still 4-1 with Blaschke in control out there. But he just did give up an escape, so now Jelenek's within striking distance. There was one of those that could have went either way.
Yeah, right underneath us with the takedown.
Yep, and now he's going to get back points besides. Boy, there must be quite a deal down there with a delay as far as timing.
It must be something with
it has to be the computer.
The computer, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They might just have to pull that one and bring a new one in.
Looked to me like she was messing with cords, so that might be what they're doing, or she's getting a new connection cord.
I tell you what, they can be finicky once in a while, let me tell you. Well, Jelinek finds himself trailing 6-2 here right now.
Just gave up some more points, Ken. It's 8-2 now.
Okay.
With 30-some seconds to go in the second period.
Both these wrestlers are juniors. Blaschke out of Fenimore at 20-12, and Jelinek 18-13. So pretty comparable records there.
13-1 down here in this 170-pound bout with just the last 10 seconds here now in that bout. And Dinar is pretty well in control of that and should go on to a win.
You see how Coach Dinar spelled Cale's name. It looks like he's probably thinking about Cale Sanderson out of Penn State when he was wrestling.
Wouldn't be bad to spell your name that way. Just wish you had a good dose of that talent.
No kidding.
That's a chance for me to mention, too. I'm sure a lot of people in the state of Wisconsin have seen that the two Maricel athletes from West Bend West, I think, or East, yeah. They have committed to go to Penn State and wrestle. But John Mesenbrink, who used to wrestle for Hart and Arrowhead, he is just having a fantastic year for Penn State at 165.
Yeah.
He is. Last week I was watching a little bit of wrestling, retired guy, you can sit at home and watch wrestling. But he upset Amin, who was like number 5 or 6 in the nation.
Wow.
And then he turned around and beat a Kraft kid, Kraft I think it was, or Fish from Michigan State, who was 12-0 at the time.
Oh my goodness.
He's having a great year. He's right now ranked like 6th or 7th in the nation.
He must be right behind Hamidi then, out of Wisconsin?
Yeah, Hamidi is just a hair above him, and then of course Keegan O'Toole is the defending national champion at that weight from over in that area, Arrowhead.
Yeah.
So that is just one tough weight class in college.
Unbelievable.
And it's good to see several Wisconsin wrestlers in that weight class.
Right in that thick of it, yeah. That's pretty cool.
And you got a really highly ranked wrestler from Northern Iowa, that Parker Kekasad.
Yep.
He's highly ranked in his weight class too.
He was number 1 at one point.
I think he may still be.
Is he still? Okay.
Yeah. There's the fall down here. That was that. We moved up to 190, and that should have been Ross Christ, as he pinned Pierce Conway from River Valley in the first period.
Boy, and he's only a junior as well, Kirk. So
they're young.
Oh my goodness.
It's no wonder you see both those. Now we're going to get to see Cole Brenninger for the first time today.
Okay.
He's stepping out on mat number 3.
Up on mat number 3.
This computer is definitely an issue down on mat 1.
Yeah. And looks like they did pull a computer.
Yeah. Trying to find a new laptop the way it looks. Brenninger steps out here on mat number 3. Cole Brenninger, a nice senior with a 30-6 wrestler. He takes on Nolan Wolf, a junior, 20-15 from Lancaster. Gets the early takedown.
Blaschke, by the way, does pick up the win 14-4, it looked like, and he'll get a major decision, adding some team points for Fenimore.
Okay. Now we're going to have Iowa Grant and Fenimore on the mat. This should be Anand from Fenimore.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty sure it is.
Kind of looks like his build over there.
Yep.
Wyatt taking on Darren Laufenberg, a senior. Both of them seniors, by the way. Iowa Grant Highlands Laufenberg is 8-6. Anand Fenimore is 24-5. Again, this is quarterfinal action. And our thanks, let's go through our final grouping here of sponsors. It's the Westby Co-op Creamery helping us out today. We appreciate their terrific support out there on Highway 14 just outside of Westby. WCCU, the Westby Co-op Credit Union, corporate office in Westby. And of course, they're in 9 locations in our area. Westby Rod and Gun. There's a great place for Friday and Saturday Saturday and Sunday breakfast, a Friday night fish, and other great specials, luncheon specials throughout the week. And the Rockton Grill, thanks to Jody and that great crew out there in Rockton. There's the place as well. They have the chicken, grilled chicken, starting up here shortly, probably like mid-April, and that'll go all the way into October. So we thank them for that particular help. And I'm hitting it every once in a while, but and then, oh, thanks.
We need some programs. We didn't get any.
And sure, thank you. The Riverdale Wrestling Club helping us out. Thanks to Jeff Campbell and that crew. That was Chris Carr who was just up here. We were just talking to him, so we apologize for that little break there. But Chris, the new athletic director here at Mineral Point, and boy, he is doing a terrific job helping out everybody. He is all over the place. He is the go-to kind of guy. And finally, Wright Insurance Agency, American Family Insurance out of Westby, Viroqua, and surrounding communities. We thank Miranda Wright at Wright Insurance Agency. Those are all of your wonderful sponsors helping to bring you today's action here from Mineral Point. And, of course, also up there at West Salem, thanks to Carl Zuby and Shelley Keenan. And in Kickapoo as well with Randy Manning, Jacob Manning, and Chris Faber out of New Lisbon helping us out today. And again, last I knew we were having some difficulties with audio there, but we hope that you're able to at least watch the picture, and we'll try and we hope that the audio is being recorded for the rebroadcast. All of these tournaments will be rebroadcast hopefully starting sometime late tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, and we'll have that up for you for your enjoyment to watch all over again.
Cole Brenninger here close to the fall on mat number 3. He had a nice 5-0 lead, but he's more interested in the fall, and there he got it with 46 seconds to go in the second period. So that would be a 3:14 pin. Got a fall close on mat number 2 as Nathan Bloschke is nearing the fall there against Darren Laufenberger. Right now he's up 8-0, and with the near fall going to be up 11-0, which he just got those. Still looking for that computer action, as you mentioned, our fine athletic director. Hard to not be a really good athletic director when you have the sports programs they have going on here in Mineral Point.
For sure.
Yeah, you just watch a lot of good stuff. Both
yes.
Men and women's action is just awesome in this town right now.
Well, Brenninger moves on to the semifinals. Good job there for Silas Coleman and Richland Center Hornets getting somebody into the semis.
Yep.
Along with, Haiti made it in there too, didn't he?
Yep. And they got Kleppe coming up here at 285.
Yeah.
He's got a shot there. Just like we say, we wish the best to Teague Perkins because he's a senior this year. Really hope to see him back in action next week at Richland Center.
Right. No kidding.
Go down and give him a shot at something or whatever. I know if he can go, he'll go because this is his last hurrah as a senior, and he's definitely a quality athlete.
190 pounds on mat 3 here. It's going to be Fox Austin, a senior out of Cuba City, Benton Southwestern, steps out onto the mat to face Jack McEachran out of Prairie du Chien.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
McEachran is a junior at 15 and 21. Austin 25 and 14.
A little bit of blood time now, or maybe it's even a shoelace.
Oh yeah. Would that be a tech on that one? Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you much.
Got our first program of the day.
Yes.
Which is good.
Get you that one.
It's hard to believe that he'd have a shoestring go bad on him, but that has been occurring more often than not.
Well, it looks like you get to the semis. It looks like you wind up.
It looks like the worst you can do is third. Doesn't look
fourth.
Like there's a rest bound.
Right.
All right, fourth. Sorry.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like, just like they've typically done here, that they're not doing a wrestle back.
Yep.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, I think so. Well, that's good to see.
And look at that theory, got a bye all the way into the semis.
Oh, to the semis, my goodness.
So did Wolf.
Out of Fenimore, yeah.
There's a fall there at 190, and that would have been Wyatt Anand. As he comes up with finally, he was leading at the time 13-0, and now he moves into the semis with that fall.
I remember talking with Heath and talking a little bit about Fenimore, and when Wyatt was younger, there was just this whole bunch, that was wrestling together through the elementary into the middle school, and he goes, watch that crew. He said, they're going to be fun.
Yep.
So
a lot of truth to that.
When we get done with this quarterfinal round, we'll have, there'll be We probably won't have too many matches at all then, will we? We might have a handful of matches on this first consolation here.
Yeah, just like we did the first round there. There won't be many.
Won't be much, and then they'll come back with another round of consolation. Yeah, it's going to be, and then they have the semifinal consolation and semifinal of the championship side.
They finally were able to move that match that's been on deck down there, mat number 1 for quite a while. They moved that to mat 2.
Oh, good. That's a good call right there.
Yeah, that's I get my computer to quit blinking out on me. That's Talon Childs from Riverdale taking on Jeremy Avery from Prairie du Chien. That should be a pretty good match. Avery's one of the better Prairie du Chien wrestlers here today.
Uh-huh.
Right now it's Avery out in front 2-0. Then on mat number 3, as you said, we have McKernan. He's wrestling Austin, and right now Austin from Cuba City Benton is up 5-3.
You know, and you feel for those guys that are on mat 2 because they were over there on mat 1 for probably 15 minutes or better.
Oh yeah, this was a great move, like you say. Give these young men a chance, because we were up to 190 and getting close to 215 on the other weight classes, and that 165 pound weight class was just sitting down there waiting here for the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But it looks to me like Avery wants to catch it up because he's got a nice cradle in, and he gets the fall here. That'll move that weight class up quite a bit.
Pinning combination going on here now on mat 2.
Mat 3, it's still 7-3 in favor of Austin. Nope, excuse me. That is Austin's out in front. 7-3.
Once the JV part gets done, they'll pick up on that. They'll be able to use. They might potentially have to keep both those mats going, and we'll just slide the cameras down a little bit so we can get a little better view of things for you.
They're going to have to steal one of those laptops. Hopefully they can just steal one of those laptops and move it down there.
That would be the best thing, yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe they want to give up mat number 1.
Well, they got a computer down there now. It looks like a young lady over there trying to work at getting things set up. So we'll keep an eye on the computer and see if they get that one up and running.
I guess I just saw the dead one on the other end of the table. You're right. She's trying to get it geared up. So we end the third period here on mat number 3. The scores kind of changed around here now. Is McKernan came back and he scored several points there. Now leads in the mat 8-7, and he's riding on top here in the third period. 10-1 in that Avery match. He's pretty well under control out there.
Oof. Little toss right there, right underneath us.
Yep, that would be McKernan trying to widen his lead, or I guess a pin will widen it too.
That will take care of it, yeah.
He scores the fall there with 18 seconds into the third period, so that would be a 4:18 pin for him.
Wow.
So now we're going to move on to 190 on that next weight class. As we said earlier, there's not many there's only 2 quarterfinals at 215.
Oh, yeah.
So very quickly, going to at least get to the last matches of this round. And then it'll be the proverbial question is, like Ken said, are we going to keep going through the next round, or are we just going to do some wrestlebacks and then go? Who knows?
No, the fall is secured over there on mat number 2. It is going to be Avery of Prairie du Chien picking up the win. He'll move on into the semifinals, and it looks like we're going to jump up to the maybe 285 there on mat number 2. And Kirk, right underneath us is Brockup.
Yeah, he's close to a fall there too.
He's taking on Jackson Seiple, a freshman. Boy, that's tough being a freshman, but he's got Jackson Seiple has a 20-14 record as a freshman here at 215. but Brockup has the leverage and the experience, and he's going to pick up the fall.
At number 2 now, we have Jaron Weeke. He's taking on Max Busser from Mineral Point on that bout. And we look like we're going to switch up to Fenimore here, which I believe this is the Wolf wrestler from, Fenimore.
Oh, Gratz. On mat 3?
Is that Kratz?
Yeah, that's Kratz out there,
okay.
yeah.
I thought it was a little bit too big for a 250. I guess I just remember Kratz being bigger.
Yeah, I kind of, that was in my head too, but this could be an interesting one here, folks. So watch this one close here. That is in the lower left corner of your screen.
He takes on, Ethan Kratz takes on, we watched Vistral wrestle in the first round. He came up with a big victory.
Yeah. Kratz with a takedown and pinning combination a second time around, and the fall.
That didn't take long.
No, 15 seconds. And they got, all the Fenimore people, they got 100 there for him.
Oh, yeah. They got a lot of 100 stickers there.
Well, congratulations going out there to Evan Kratz, 25-5, make it 26-5, excuse me, as he picks up a big pin for his 100th career victory. Good job.
At number 2 is still a 2-0 score there with, gotta find my wrestler, it'd be Weeke from Lancaster, he's a red. Well, that would be Weeke from, our Busser's winning 2-0. Okay. There we go. Busser from Mineral Points leading 2-0 over Weeke from Basketball.
They're still
so hard for me to picture Basketball in a black uniform.
I know, I'm with you there.
Because of so many years they were red. But
yep, exactly.
Now that they've co-opted, I understand it.
Yep. They're still working on mat 1 here. They actually took one computer away, and now they've got another computer out there.
I think they might have. Yes, they did steal the one here from mat number 5.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Looks like there's no computer there anymore.
They shut that one down. Well, and on mat 1, they actually have down Aiden Silvers out of Isle Grant Highland. This is going to be at 106 pounds consolation.
Yeah, consolation match. And they're stripping down, so maybe we're going to get there, Kim.
Yeah, all right. And that's going to be taking on William Cradiville out of Lancaster. And that is going to be a freshman at 19 and 11. So, well, they're going to start back in right away. They're not going to waste any time.
Well, they need to with at least one round to wrestle back, I would think.
Yep.
Because then you would be doing these here. Then it gets you to there. You need to get close to where you're doing semifinals together. So you're getting those.
Get your placement matches.
You actually got 2 rounds of wrestlebacks.
Yes.
But now with 3 or 4 mats going, they should rip through that pretty good.
Well, as they finish this one, I talked to one of the guys, and they thought that they would take one mat out so they could get that one going. So that'd be good to see.
This is up to 2:15 here in JV action. We're getting close to a fall here. This would be on mat number 3. That would be Jake Simmons for Prairie du Chien. He's close to a fall against Cage Ruff from Darlington Blackhawk. But injury time on mat number 2, 7-0 score there in favor of the young man from Mineral Point, Busser. But it looks like Weeke is got an ankle or hard to tell.
I wonder if he didn't have a cramp or something there, but he does have and I think he's favoring his left leg, and he's all wrapped up in his right. So well, he's going to give it a try, he says.
He's going to go. Very gingerly gets down there is on mat number 3. That was Simmons from Prairie du Chien coming up with a fall there over Ruff, and he'll move on to the semifinals at 285. So Kleppe should be stepping on the mat here somewhere, but it looks like it's maybe going to get stuck in the middle there somewhere.
Yeah, he's probably on mat 2, and
because we got Emma Haiti stepping back on the mat here on mat 3. She's going to be in constellation action here. Well, the young man from Boscoville went down again, didn't he?
yeah, I kind of wonder. They might consider pulling him and try and keep him healthy for the next weekend. I think that's what they're going to do. Yep. You know, that's not a bad move.
So now we're going to see Kleppe and Arndt from Mineral Point come out there. First action for both of these athletes today. It's down here on mat number 3. Emma Haiti's out to an early 2-0 lead. Down there on mat number 1, they look like they're finally getting ready to start. And as Ken said earlier, that should be Aiden Silvers from Iowa Grand Highland. He'll take on William Cradwell from Lancaster. So this should be our last quarterfinal action here, and then we should be wrestleback action on the other mats.
Yep. Kleppe is he's exciting to watch.
He's got some nice moves. He's still kind of, he's a junior. But this is probably his first year getting a lot of varsity action.
Sure.
And Arndt's one of these kids that's been hanging around for Mineral Point too in this 285-pound weight class. He's a junior too at 20 and 14. So it's one of those that, just like a lot of 285-pound weight classes or matches, could go either way.
Yes.
So it's no matter who ends landing on top. Emma Haiti out to a 4-0 lead. She's trying to run an arm bar. Arndt's got a Russian arm tie on Kleppe, but Kleppe counters that real well. It is interesting. It just must be something with the portal or something there. I just can't believe that.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're like on their third computer and they just, or laptop, and they just haven't got it to fly yet.
Yeah, that's too bad. You know, that'll happen once in a while. I apologize to the folks watching that Scenic Bluffs Ridge and Valley tournament over at Kickapoo. Fortunately, there's no sound and no idea why. It looks like everything else is working. We see it on the monitor that the volume is working, but for some reason, it's just not there right now. Hopefully on the tape side of things, the recording side, that we do have the audio.
Still a 4-3 match down here between Haiti and now a skate for Haiti. So now it's 5-3 in that match against the young man from Darlington Blackhawk, and that would be, find him here in a second. And again, maybe not.
Alrit and Kleppe still no score, and Alrit chooses down to begin period number 2.
That's Austin Schulte, a sophomore from Darlington.
Alrit picks up the escape as he stands up and is able to break away. I just looked at the time, Kirk. It's 12:42. It doesn't even seem like we've been going that long.
Well,
yeah, it's pretty crazy that way.
We failed.
I lost my job. I'm sorry. I look at it quite a bit, so.
Are you going to go varsity on all 4 of those mats when the JV's done? Okay. you going to get Mat 1 back and going? All right, we hope so. (1-0) score there in our quarterfinal action at 285 with, I believe, Arndt has got the red leg band on. It's hard to tell. Imagine for Kleppe, he can't get that on his hand, but if Kleppe's green, though, that he would be out in front. Now I think we have a stalling point, though. Not too sure who that went to. Yeah, that went to Kleppe. So that's interesting. Down here in Emma Hady's match, she's up 11-4 now, and we're in the last 30 seconds of that match at 106. They're talking like once we get done with at least the wrestle backgrounds where we would be to the placement or deciding who goes for 5th or 7th, and then the semifinals that we would take a break before we do that. Little discussion down there. Looks like the Wrestling Center coaching staff received a warning for misconduct. Now a score of 3-1. I believe that Kleppe picked up another point for some reason. I'm thinking he's the red wrestler, but it's hard to say. Neither one of them has a leg band on. Hady ended up winning her match. That was a final, I believe, of 9-4 in that match. And I turned away, and Art got a move in, and he turned Kleppe over and pinned him. So that was an interesting chain of events there. Imagine he just got a good arm bar in or something. I didn't see really what happened. Now we're going to see the very fine sophomore from Riverdale step on the mat, and that would be Grant Matthews. He is going to take on, from Iowa Grant, Bronson McComb. Grant's been having a fine year this year. For a sophomore, he's really starting to get things to click together. Kind of getting down. This should be our last semi. Then we get into wrestlebacks now on mat number 3. And that now is Eli Aird. He's out there wrestling Brock Barrett from Wrestling Center. He's got an early 2-0 lead.
At 285 pounds, Matt Hart, a middle point for Braden Klepp. Wrestling Center will fall in 4 minutes.
Now Matthews has got a nice barbed wire in, and he's got McCone in a lot of trouble.
He's fun to watch too. My goodness.
He should get the fall here. He's got a nice half in the arm.
So how'd that match go between Ulrich and Kleppe?
And all of a sudden, I looked away to come back and see how Emma was doing, and I heard him slap the mat and turn back, and Kleppe got pinned.
Really? Wow.
So it must have either been a bar arm or a side roll that didn't work, and he got pinned.
I'll be darned.
Well, kind of surprised me. I thought I could check up on one of the other mats, especially with Emma wrestling down here, and it didn't happen. Now Matthews is again working that barbed wire. And again, getting near fall points. He's up 5-0 right now. Really hard to see how he wouldn't get the fall here. A lot of time left, 50 seconds to go. McCone's a fighter, though. He won't give up, but that looks pretty tight right there. Yep. There's the fall. So as we said, Grant Matthews, the sophomore, having a great year this year. Look for him to do a lot of things here during the state tournament series.
Boy, I would certainly think so. He's got his hands full with, a couple other obvious pretty good heavyweights, but, man, he is in the thick of it.
That's one of those I look forward that it should be Evan Grotz against him in the finals, but
Yeah,
you never count your chickens before they get there.
For
You know.
sure. Yes.
Now we're going to move up to 120.
We're going to take a quick look here. Just to let everybody know, again, this is a Western Wisconsin video production, and I'm Ken Manning along with Kirk Layer as we bring you. Now we're into the consolation side. Everything that you watched before was championship, quarterfinals, and the prelims, and now we are in the consolation side. And Kirk, talking with Chris Carr, the athletic director here from Mineral Point, he said they're going to run through this consolation round, and then they are going to take a break, which they were debating on, and then they're going to come right back. I bet the break won't be very long.
Well, I think it's a good idea, though. Everybody needs a chance to not miss any action and get out and get some food or
and the officials
visit the
need a break.
restroom. And officials just keep working. They got a nice crew here today. I don't think they're getting overworked, but it's a good day for them.
Yes.
So we got in mat number 1 now. We're finally back into action. That is just fantastic news. We have Aiden Silvers out there from Iowa Grand Highland. He's taking on William Cradwell from Lancaster. No score in that. We're early into the match. Mat number 2, we have Rodolfo Espinoza from River Valley. He takes on Brady Baumgartner from Prairie du Chien. And then mat number 3 at 120, we have Ethan Aird taking on Brock Barrett from Richland Center. In that match, it's 5-0 for Aird from Darlington Blackhawk. Several of these young men from Richland Center spent a lot of their year, wrestling on the JV squad, but they're getting some varsity action here now at the end of the year, and it's good to see. Got a young group there. Like you said, Coach Silas Coleman in his second year now. He was a co-coach last year with Darren Gunderson. Now this year he kind of took over the reins, but he still got a co-coach or assistant in Wyatt Seat from former Weston Ithaca wrestler.
I was going to say, yeah.
And that's a good thing to see. You like to see torches passed, and you like to see the torch pass to some quality individuals, and those two are very quality individuals in the Richland Center School District.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, as you say, you get some of that new blood, the young blood in there, and, the enthusiasm is a little different. And what they lack in knowledge, that's where the enthusiasm will take them a long ways.
Wyatt's got a strong history in wrestling, but then he's also been a key player in their football program there, helping out over the last several years. So he's kind of helped them in even recruiting, talking some additional football players into coming out for wrestling.
That's always big.
Yes, it is. Well, we're looking right now down there on mat number 1. Score down there is still 0-0 in that match as we're in the second period. In the middle mat, it's still 2-0 in favor of Baumgartner from Prairie du Chien over Espinoza from River Valley. And then Aird now has got a nice 7-0 lead over Brock Barrett from Richland Center. And he has him in trouble now and could score the fall here if he doesn't run out of time. He's going to do that. So now it's 10-0 as we go into the third period. Oh, wait, maybe that was the last period.
Oh, that was the last period.
Yeah, it was. So it's 10-0 in favor of Ard from Blackhawk there. That was at 120.
Well, again, thanks for all those sponsors helping us out. We continue on with this consolation side. 106. And 120.
Yeah, their goal is, I believe, like you said, Ken, I think they want to get to where we're in the semifinals on both sides. So then we'll just be deciding who's going to wrestle for first, who's going to wrestle for third, and who's going to wrestle for fifth and seventh. That's where typically the 4 mats come into play you know, they'll kind of have a placement match on each one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got a pin down there, mat number 1, and that was the young man from Lancaster, William Cradwell, as he secured a fall there in the second period, so it would have been 3:50 the fall time there.
I turned around and looked, and something happened on mat 3, and the Lancaster wrestler was walking off, and the coach kind of patting him on the back, like consoling him a little bit. I don't know.
Huh.
So I didn't quite see what happened there.
So now we have Dodgeville out there, and that would be Hayden Hussman. He's taking on at 126 Braden Troster from Cuba City, Benton. Mat number 2, we still have Baumgartner and Espinoza out there, and still Espinoza leading, Baumgartner still leading 2-0. But now Espinoza gets an escape. So we'll see what happens here in the last 50 seconds of that bout.
Yeah, he had a little hand control and was able to kind of rotate out, almost like not really a somersault, but it was a roll through of some sort.
Yep. Down there on mat number 1, we have Jace Connor, the sophomore from Iowa Grande Highland at 113. He's taking on David Arculis from Darlington Blackhawk, a freshman with a 10-19 record. And right now it's Connor out in front, 2-0 or 5-0.
And Baumgartner winds up with a bloody nose as he comes over to the side to get fixed up.
Still that 2-1 lead. 120 to, oh, that's the weight class. Can't tell you the time right now because it's showing blood time. Going to go into the third period here, or wait, second period between mat number 3, and that's Troster against Husman, and right now Troster's out in front 2-1 there. I think we're getting to the point here, I believe, looks to me like the JV is maybe done, but maybe not. There's still some
a couple of them walking over.
Yeah, there's still some young men warming up down there. One says 144 on the bout sheet, so maybe they try to, in that JV portion, they try to give them as many matches as they can, so they're creative with round robins and brackets and everything else. So still blood time there. Getting close to a cradle down there. It is. That would have been on mat number 1. That would be Chase Connor coming up with a pin there. He was up 11-0 in the second period there, but that would be a 240 pin there for him. He'll move on.
It's kind of crazy watching the board here, how it updates. Now it just went to 11-0, but the pin took place 10 seconds ago now.
Yeah, I know it. I don't know why they aren't connected up quicker.
Yeah.
He's on mat number 3 here now. He's coming real close to a fall here. And that would be Troster from Cuba City, Benton. And there's the pin. He just pinned Hussam from Dodgeville, excuse me.
34 seconds remaining here in period number 3 in the match on mat number 2, and it's still a 2-1 score here with Baumgartner out in front as they're looking to clean up the mat here, as you can see.
Now we have Kloss from Fenimore down there on mat number 1. He's taking on Kite from Mineral Point. Kloss is definitely a Fenimore name. Kite, I would have said, probably would have been an Iowa Grande name. But,
yeah.
But
absolutely. Yeah.
Life has changed a little bit since you and I grew up in this area, Ken.
I guess so.
People have migrated to other towns and stuff like that. Now here on mat number 3, just about ready to go. That's at 144. We have the Lancaster Arrows against another Dodgeville wrestler. As soon as they put that up there, we'll give you the score on it. As long as we're early here, but although it is an interesting point in the tournament, is because we are done with the quarterfinals. The team scores are sitting over here where we can see them on the side, and it is kind of interesting to see that Prairie du Chien is out in front right now with a 6-point lead at 179.5 over Iowa Grande at 173.5, and Fenimore's kind of I'm not going to say a distant third, but they're at 148, which is a little bit surprising.
That is, yeah.
So I mentioned earlier that, well, all three of them have good dual meet teams.
Oh, yeah.
But tournament team, I got to think, maybe that's not one of Fennimore's stronger attributes. But we'll see. The semifinal round will tell a bigger story.
That's where you really get the changing of the guard.
Yep.
Because you get into the finals, they're going to put in those second place points. That's a lot of points going in.
Out for sure. So we look here on mat number 3. Devin Tiedrich is out in front 2-0 after one period. He's going to start up on, well, he was going to start on top, but now he chose to go neutral, so he's going to give Yoder an escape point. Mat number 2, Pouts from Mineral Point has got a cradle in, and he's real close to getting the fall there against Miller. He can hang on to that cradle. And down at the far end there, Kite from Mineral Point is doing a nice job there, and he's scoring more back points now too. So
yeah, I thought that was a pretty tight lock there by Pouts, but maybe the other, maybe Miller was working on that hand.
Yeah, it must have been. So he got out of it, didn't he? Or the time ran out, wasn't it? Yeah. So 5-0 after the first period there on mat number 2. And Tiedrich is doing a nice job down here on mat number 3. It's still 4-1, but I'm thinking he's going to be adding 3 more back points here, which hasn't been scored yet. So he'll be up 7-1. Close to a fall down there on mat number. Oh, I heard him slapping the mat somewhere. I had to look around. It was Tiedrich getting the fall. And now down at the other end, it's Kite getting the fall down there. So 2 falls, bing, bing.
Bing, bing, you're
on
right.
each end of the mat.
Yes. Didn't waste any time.
Now we had a match down here on mat number 4, but I can't tell you if that was a wrestle back. Does say consolation round, so I think we're using all 4 mats now.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yep. We're going to have to watch all 4 now, Ken.
All right. Well, let me do this. So bear with me, folks, as I'm going to slide the camera down, hopefully just a little bit so we get a little better angle. And I go right about there. That's about the best we dare do. Don't want to run it off the rail here.
That curtain didn't help you a whole lot.
Not a whole lot there, no.
So we get a pin down there on mat number 2, and that would be Plouts coming up with the pin there. Pouts got the pin there in the second period in 3:05. He got the pin there. It looks like for sure they shut down mat number 5, so it looks like the rest of the day we're going to do 1 through 4.
All right.
We're up to about the middle of this round because we're up in the 144 to 138 range. So it should move fairly quickly that we can get done with this round and be into what we're going to just call it the placement round.
Right.
Because you got semifinals on the front side and semifinals on the back side. And I don't know so much about the back side as far as semifinals, but the front side, championship side, there's going to be some barn burners.
Going to be some that you just want to sit down and have the popcorn with you.
There you go. You better make sure it's a good tub because I don't think you want to go back for seconds in the middle of it.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Get the extra large.
Yeah. Down here on mat number 3 now, we got Chase McGuire from Riverdale out there. He's trailing here after the first period to Brody Blackburn from Cuba City Benton. Then on mat number 2, we have Quentin Kite from Mineral Point. He's taking on Kyle Wassinger from Richland Center. No score in that much, but as soon as I say that, Kite gets a takedown, so it's 2-0 there. Mat number 1, we're in the wrestle back round there. That's Nick Reddington from Cuba City Benton. He's taking on Caden Miller from Riverdale. And so now we'll say for the first time, mat number 4. I thought maybe I was going to get there and the fall was going to come, but that was on mat number 3. And that was Chase McGuire getting a pin there. But mat number 4, better get him in there. Drew Hurd from Prairie Sheen is pinning Spencer Sackett from River Valley, and that could end here real quickly.
That's a tough one there for Brody Blackburn was ahead 7-1, Kirk, and wound up losing by a pin.
Oh, really?
Of course, that well, that's what was on track wrestling here.
It's still here, yep.
So
McGuire came back and pinned him. Wow. There, Hurd finally gets the fall. So he wins down there at 144.
On mat 1, we've got Reddington out of Cuba City, Benton Southwestern, and Caden Miller of Riverdale. Again, this at 150 pounds consolation.
Yep, we're at 150 there, 138 in the center match, which is still Kite against Wazinger. And then on mat number 3, they're changing there, but we got a Lancaster wrestler coming out against Merrill Point. Mat number 4, we haven't found any action down there right now, but I'm sure they'll be calling somebody there. We're at 157 on mat number 3.
So Reddington picked up the win on mat 1, and now they're popping over. We're going to have Ty Larson of River Valley, freshman, 11 and 18 coming in. He's going to take on Brandon Meese of Riverdale, 8 and 23. And Meese a junior, Larson of Valley, a freshman.
Yep. At number 3, we have Trenton Culver from Mineral Point. He goes out here against Preston Clemens from Lancaster. And right now, there's no score in that bout. At number 2, Quentin Kite is doing a fine job there. He's up 5-0 against Wassinger, but Wassinger now scored his first point of the match. Tries to come in for a deep single leg, and he misses it. And Kite is able to counter, and so now he's up 7-1 in that bout. Still haven't found anybody for mat 4, but that's fine. Coach Fiedler is didn't quite like that call, but that's okay. We need to do our maintenance work back here, Ken.
Uh-oh. Thank you.
Track wrestling is real nice, but on my computer and the big computer that Ken and I we'll call, say, monitoring for Mineral Point, that'll be extra in our paycheck too, right?
Yeah, there you go, right?
But we have to, every once in a while, it wants to convert back. It wants you to start paying for the program is what it wants.
Yeah.
Well, on there on mat number 2, the young man from Mineral Point got the fall there against Wazinger. And so he'll be moving on to the placement round. So that'll bring out a Fenimore activity against Lancaster here again. And that should be Logan Wolf taking on Carson French from Fenimore at 165 already.
Looks like we're waiting for a wrestler, something going on mat 4 yet.
Yep, real close to the fall here on mat number 3, and that would be Trenton Culver from Mineral Point. He's got in, of all things, a cradle for Mineral Point and secures the fall. And he wins that in the second period, would be 2:40, the pin time there. So I guess Coach Fiedler's encouragement was enough to get him going. Real quick pin over there on mat number 2, and that would be Logan Wolf from Lancaster getting the fall there in the first period with 1:30 to go. Or 1:30 was the pin time, sorry. Down on mat number 1 now. We have Ty Larson, who's out in front down there. No, he's actually trailing in that match. No, he's out in front from River Valley, 9-3 against Braden Meese on mat number 1. Mat number 4 now, we have Brady Godfrey from Dodgeville, and he takes on Landon Bush from Cuba City, Benton. And as soon as I get that out of my mouth, Bush pins him in the first period against Godfrey, and that was a 18-second pin since we're in the consolation there. Down at the far end there now, too, we have a final there, and that would be mat number 1, and that would be Larson. He must have got the pin there in the second period Larson with a fall over Brandon Meese from Riverdale. So that moves us up to probably, we're going to be in the 190 weight classes here real quickly. Mat number 1, we're up to 190, oh, that's the bout number. 157 down there.
This round, all middle school students meet Mr. Perry on mat number 5.
What we have out on there, mat number 2 now, we have Mason Jelenic. He takes on, the junior takes on Alan James from Mineral Point in their wrestleback match at 175. And they're just flashing up the other ones. Now that's Michael Kavanza from Richland Center. He's taking on Hunter Alt from River Valley. And on mat number 3, we have Darian Jackson from Prairie du Chien. He takes on Blake Brickle from River Valley. And a nice, I'd call it a,
Iowa there.
yeah, there you go, Iowa move, and there's the fall. Nice
man.
move by Brickle. Reminding me of the young man you and I talked about earlier today.
Yep.
That was definitely his move.
Yep, for sure.
Yep, and he did it quite well. Then we get a fall down there on mat number 1 too. So River Valley wrestlers right in a row there. 2 of them, Alt on one end and Brickle on the other. I think both of those young men have a wrestling history at River Valley.
Yeah, just a little bit. That's right. Yep.
Jelenic out there, he's one of the few mats that's still wrestling. He has a 2-0 lead to start out here. And it looks like we're not going to use mat 4 right now anyway.
Yeah, they got the folks there, but I think they're, they got the computer and everything. Yeah, I'm surprised that they.
I think they're a little bit worried, maybe in some timing issues. Down on mat number 1 now, we have Iowa Grant taking on another Mineral Point wrestler. Your computer's faster than mine, Ken. What do you got there on mat 1?
Laufenberg, Darren Laufenberg coming in at 8 and 7, the senior, taking on Clayton Yana. Does that sound right? For a freshman out of Mineral Point.
I'd say that's close enough.
Okay. Yana is 4 and 16, so Laufenberg would probably be a heavy favorite right here.
Yeah. Well, they just gave us a reprieve, Ken. For us old guys, they said they're going to take a 30-minute break.
There you go.
And they emphasized the old guys break.
Okay, there, yes. They're probably right.
Oh, man, Jelenic was doing really good in this match, and now all of a sudden he got caught in that same Oklahoma we were talking about, or
Iowa move, yeah.
Iowa move, yeah. And he's in a lot of trouble right now. He's going to be a real challenge to get out of this.
Yeah.
Mat number 3, we got Cam Moore from Belmont Platteville. He's taking on Pierce Conway of River Valley. So a lot of River Valley wrestlers out here in the last few minutes.
Yes.
Way to go, Mason. You fought through that one.
Well, I tell you, that took a lot of guts not to get
yeah, there you go. He was in a bad way there, and he's still got a chance here.
Yes.
7-2 is not insurmountable, especially since you're down right here.
Yeah, right.
So at the far end there in Laufenberg's match, he's leading 2-0 over Yana from Mineral Point. Mat number 3 here, the early leader in that match, is Cam Moore from Belmont Platteville. I looked away again. There was a fall down there, wasn't there?
Yes, and I think
that was Laufenberg, wasn't it?
Yep. I believe so, yep.
Laufenberg caught him and pinned him, that being Yana. So he'll now move to the placement matches. We come back after the 30-minute break that they're going to give us. We should be in the matches where we'll decide who goes for first, who goes for third, who goes for fifth, and who goes for seventh.
They tearing down the blue mat here right underneath us.
Maybe they'll slide that mat over a little bit. I don't know. It would help the people on our far side to see it better, but
So are we right now, as we're looking at, are we wrestling this one right now?
I think we must be, because we have to be out here to come back
to do the semis, consolation, semi-consolation.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. So okay, good. now I got my
It makes
bearings
sense
straight.
in my mind, but
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm
yeah.
right or not. I hope so.
I was kind of thinking that when I looked at it, I didn't realize we were that far out. So, but that would be a good thing.
Yes, it would be.
Back out here on the mats, let's take a look here. Mason Jelenic still trails here, 8-2 right now with 20 seconds remaining in that match. Here's they're in period number 3. Cam Moore of Belmont Platteville out in front with Pierce Conway of River Valley. That score is, well, it says 4-1, or is this a new? This is at 190. Let me see if my, I was looking at the wrong one. That's on mat
2-1
3.
it is there.
On mat 3.
11-2 in Jelenic's match.
Yes. Oh, it just bumped up now.
And now that.
And we're at 190.
Oh, that was the end of it. So Jelenic did lose 11-2.
Okay. And now we're looking for the mat 1 to come back up and running here for us. Again, the consolation side 1-2-2. And they're going to determine who is going to come out onto the mat here at 285 is what they have on the board. So we'll wait to see who that is. It should be Bronson. Okay, now they just put it up. Bronson McCone, a junior out of Io Grant Highland, 16-16. He's going to take on Timothy Nelson, the junior, 4-10 out of Lancaster. And they just re-upped mat 2 here. It's Richard Bryant, a sophomore from Boscobel, 2-7, taking on Fox Austin, a senior at 25-15 out of Cuba City, Benton Southwestern.
Looks like we're going to have the big guys down there in mat number 1, but
yeah,
they haven't rounded them up yet.
They're trying to find them.
Hard to figure out how they can lose those big boys, but well, I see Bronson over there. He's ready to go.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know where the other young man is. He's looking for Timothy Nelson from Lancaster.
I wonder, is that Nelson right behind Matt, the scoreboard?
He looks like, you say that, he looks like he's there, but so
yeah.
We must be having, again, maybe some time issues.
It might be just a slight, yeah.
Because it wasn't that long ago, I remember McCone
He was out there, that's true. Yep. So
definitely going to get rid of the blue mat, or at least most of it. I would hope they would leave at least one section, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
They should slide it over this way, but we'll see. They don't ask us those important questions, Kim.
Not yet, anyways.
Well, we got to have some ending here.
Yep.
So that was a comeback win there, I think, for the young man from Belmont. No, he was up 4-1.
And that was the final.
That was the final, okay. So now they're starting to approach the mat on mat number 1.
There's a pin.
There's a pin on mat number 2, and we do have another one on mat number 3. And this would be the young man from Dodgeville, I think, is taking the mat. He's going to wrestle the young man from Belmont. We'll get you a name here in a second.
Cuba City Benton Southwestern picks up the win on mat 2 by a pin. That was Austin over Bryant.
Yep. So mat number 1 is going to be Bronson McCone, Iowa Grant Highland, taking on Timothy Nelson here from Lancaster in just a second. And now we have here on mat number 3, we have Isaac Vondra from Dodgeville. He's taking on Joseph Bistro. If I say that really fast, you won't know I blew it, huh?
Well, I tell you what, it sounds good to me.
He's taking from Belmont Platteville, and now he's got him in a lot of trouble.
It was a throw and then a re-roll right through it.
Oh, really? There's the pin, so we're going to have to figure out how to keep saying his name.
We're going to have to go talk to him. We'll go find Emmerich or something and see if we can get the right pronunciation there.
I got to believe he's a Platteville young man because I don't remember all my trips to Belmont. I don't remember that name down there. Yep. So we should be down to maybe our last match. Mr. Parrott's picking up the leg bands.
Yeah, he did.
The leg bands are gone off a 2, plus the crew is gone off a 2. So I don't think they're having any more there. So I think we're down to our last match.
I'll tell you what, this things have been going so well with everything said and done.
Is this where I tell you I have a urgent need and I leave you here so I get to the food line before you do?
shoot.
Well, we got to at least get ahead of those officials.
Well, I tell you what, yeah.
But I'm still waiting here. It's got to be, I would hope, just a timing issue. I hope they couldn't be having problems with that computer. Now they're going to go. So we will get into our last match here this round. As we said earlier, we'll come back after this round in the half-hour break, and we'll come back with what we would call, the best way to call it is placement matches to decide who's going to go for which placement, or we call them semifinal rounds. So it'd be semifinal round.